Hello. Hello, beautiful people on Facebook and YouTube and in the StreamYard out here on this majestic, enchanting Friday evening. Another round of virtual voices. As you can see, J Rose has not magically transformed. However, we have a special, extra special co hostess guest co-hostess with the mostest in the building. Oh man, I'm not home, so I don't have my sound machine with my round of applause. But let's all give a round of applause for the one and only Mika J. Woods. There we go. I've never
Yes.
actually done the full round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. I'm grateful for this opportunity. And I'm so excited to hear some dope poets and to see something new. I hope somebody's dropping some new shit.
For sure. Wait, I had double voices because I was going to my Facebook so that I could share it. And all of you watching, all of you backstage, you should also definitely do exactly that. Go ahead, go to the Rose Garden events page on Facebook, on YouTube, and you can share this video. Fun fact, these are all recorded, so you can go back and play them back after the evening has ended. Which doesn't mean you shouldn't tune in now because, as Mika said, we're about to have some dope ass poetry, some dope ass artists in the building. You've been creating it all.
Yes, I've been writing. I haven't really gotten, I haven't really found my new wave as a new mom, man. You really become a new person. And I didn't expect that. So I'm looking for
Yeah.
my new wave. I was literally going over old poetry and I had to laugh. I have poems called like I'm Not Your Baby Mother. Technically I am now.
But no,
Word.
but that's it. That can be a beautiful evolution. Like it is going to be a beautiful evolution. Didn't you share something with us recently?
Yeah.
That was extra personal. Was it from the car? Were you in the car?
No, I was in the house, but like I was being quiet. My son was about
Yes.
3 weeks old at the time.
Yes.
And I was
Yes.
going through postpartum and I wrote a piece about that. And
Oh, it was beautiful.
yes, but it was dark. I wrote it on literally my darkest day going through postpartum. And,
Mhm.
that's why I appreciate this platform because I was able to express myself and let people know, hey, I'm not okay.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that's one of the beautiful things about virtual voices. And I don't need to tell you that, we officially hit our 3-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Round of applause for our 3-year anniversary last month. Um, so J Rose and I are figuring out ways to do an official celebration for that perhaps next month, but more to come on that. However, back to your point, Mika, it's just that I think this place was created on needing that release, and it was dark. I mean, it can not all the time, but a lot of, it came from a dark place and the pandemic and all that. So I think it's a beautiful thing that you could come out here and do that. And I think whatever you do next is gonna be great because now you have this whole new perspective, which is why I brought up that piece, because I think that there's a whole reach of community that audience that's gonna feel that in a way they might not have heard elsewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So we out here poeting in these streets, new momming in these streets. We've got some people's backstage.
Newly engaged in these streets.
Oh yes. No. You have
Congratulations again.
something in my hair here? No, um, I'm
Oh, that
kidding.
looks beautifully heavy.
I'm actually out here in Tennessee, at my future in-laws' house. So they might be popping in and out throughout this evening. The virtual voices audience knows me from my family coming in and out. So this is like, different version of that, right? New things, new things, new things. Okay, what do you say, Mika? Should we get into the rules and regulations?
Yes, ma'am. Let's get into it.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and solo shot myself right quick. Let's do it to it. So, for those who don't know, I didn't give myself a proper introduction, but my name is Leah V, and the place to be, which is right here on this enchanting evening across all of these digital mediums and screens and virtual places and faces. We out here an hour ahead out in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. But moving on. I'm going to go ahead and get into our rules and regulations for the evening. We follow these very strictly. Let's go ahead and get into it. So, the first and foremost rule for virtual voices is that this is a safe space. Okay, we created this, as I mentioned previously, we created this place from a very dark time to allow people of all kinds to be able to share their truth without feeling any type of judgment. And we are very accepting here. We have no space for hate speech. We are pro LGBTQ. We are pro BLM. We are pro all the letters of the alphabet. If you come out here and be any type of disrespectful in these digital streets, then me and Mika gonna come out with the virtual cane like they used to do at the Apollo, and just we're gonna yank you off this stage and you will not be allowed back. It's not usually a problem, but I think hopefully this continues to help with that. Moving on, we have I'm saying about for this evening because the signups are still on the up and up, but we have about 5 minutes per performer. This does not mean that you can only do one piece. If you're unsure of your remaining time, you can check with us. However many pieces you can fit in 5 minutes. At a night like tonight, I think it's safe to do one more if you want to do one more. But if you're unsure, then make sure you check with us first. No 10-minute poems, no 15-minute poems. We want to make sure we save space for everybody. The reason that we have this, time constriction is so that we can bring everybody back around town at the end of the open mic list. And if and when we have time, we go ahead and bring back the performers to the StreamYard. We bring them back on and they can do a lightning round piece. Sometimes our backstage in the StreamYard will get full. When that happens, then we will ask performers who have already performed to jump out of the StreamYard and watch on Facebook and YouTube, where we are live on the Rose Garden events page. So we will ask you to go ahead and do that. But we ask that you stay on. You keep watching. That way we can call you back for that lightning round. Moving forward, make sure that you follow one another. We are all that we have. We all we got. You hear me say that at every open mic I host. J Rose works very hard, and this evening Mika and I work very hard to keep the banner on the bottom of our amazing platform updated with everybody's information, everybody's cash app. So if you got a few coins, you're feeling friendly, you can go ahead and throw a dough at a performer. If they spoke to you on an elevated level, you got some extra money in the bank account, just go ahead and tip them. That's why we put the cash apps on the bottom. Also, make sure you support the platform. Make sure that you donate to the Rose Garden events page. Our virtual voices open mic has not always been so beautiful. J Rose has worked very hard to continue to make our StreamYard, our platform here evolve so that it looks as updated and trendy and interactive as it does now. One of the best parts about virtual voices is that you can interact with your audience. So we ask that you please, everybody watching and all the artists backstage, we ask that you please go to your Facebook right now, or go to the Rose Garden events page on YouTube right now. Click on the live video link. Press that share button. The share button is the arrow, like the little arrow going that way. And then you're going to go ahead and share it so that all of your friends and family can tune in and enjoy this experience. There's nothing better than, this type of quality entertainment that we provide live from your living room in your jammies. I got my comfies on right now. So make sure you follow one another, artists. Make sure, audience, you follow one another, and everybody involved, all parties involved, please go ahead and share that link on Facebook and YouTube. And for the people watching on Facebook and YouTube, our wonderful digital audience, videos, we ask that you comment. The beauty of us going live is that we get this interactive experience where we can post comments that people make on our lives onto the video directly, so that the artist and audience and fellow artists alike get a chance to see, get their flowers, their kudos, their snaps in real time. And we always have some jokes on there. There's a private chat for the artists, but the public chat, we ask that all of you please continue to comment on there and make it interactive and fun for all of us. Artists, make sure you stay close to your microphone, especially those who are not of the, poetic descent. We ask that you stay close to your microphone. If you're not sure how you sound, singers, songwriters, musicians, or if you just, you might get a little spotty Wi-Fi here and there, or you're tuning in from the closet at your job, which happens more frequently than you would think. So if you are doing so, make sure that you get all up in that microphone and make sure you check with us before you start, so that we don't have to disrupt your flow and tell you, hey, hold on a second, we need you to fix your audio. So just check with us beforehand, that way we can keep it moving and grooving. Donate to the Rose Garden events page, as I mentioned before, but worth repeating. We appreciate all contributions, and so do the artists. When we say that you are on deck, for those who are new on the open mic scene, that means that you are up next. You're not the next person, but you are after the next person. Something about a baseball reference and, the bases or whatever, but I'm not. I will just confuse all of us if I try to explain that. Moving forward, be kind, keep growing. We got. No hate speech, and let's just all have a great evening. We have an amazing feature coming to bless the microphone this evening. Twosense. I'm very excited myself to hear it live and on time here on the Virtual Voices stage. It's looking like we got some more people backstage. I'm going to go ahead and bring everybody on to say hello. So let's do it to it. Let's get everybody. Oh, there she is. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
Hello there. Oh, we got Mika and I are pressing all the same buttons at the same time.
Oh man.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the Virtual Voices stage.
Hey.
What's
Hey,
going on?
everyone. How's everybody doing? I'm so excited to see you.
Yeah, me too.
Likewise.
How'd everybody's work week go? How'd everybody's Friday go? Tell me all the things.
Well, I mean, I'll say something. My allergies been kicking my ass for the past couple days.
Yes, this pollen has been on another level.
Seriously.
I know it's real out here, especially this season. I mean, it doesn't help that the climate is up and down and all around, right? Like,
Very much so.
Yes.
Mika and I were talking about that before. Some of you guys might have heard us, but she was talking about swinter.
Yeah, it's a real thing now.
The unspoken season.
It's the unspoken season in New York where you're not sure if you should wear Uggs. It's like, should I put the boots on, or is it officially too? But it's still cold.
Right. We got that in Philly too.
I was gonna say it's that general, like tri-state-ish area. Like we're all in the same boat there.
I think it makes it all the way down to Maryland. Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I was blessed though today to have off, because of the Muslim holiday, the Eid Mubarak. I learned that word in my neighborhood where there are a lot of Muslims. They had their celebration across the street. It was really cool to see. And they have like all this food. It was nice. And I learned that's how you say, like how we, say happy. I thought it was happy Eid. And they're like, no, it's Eid Mubarak. And I'm like, I learned something. I started getting fancy with it, I said it to everybody.
No, that's fine though. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. We should all be so respectful of one another, and that thing. I get the Poetry Foundation poem of the day sent to my inbox every day. And today's poem was called Ramadan. And for some reason, this just goes to show how ignorant I am. I thought it was over. I didn't realize that it was lasting so long. So I was like, they must be a little late on their schedule here. But it is a beautiful poem. So if anybody wants, and if anybody's interested, look it up. I can find it for you guys right there. It is Ramadan. I will put it in the chat for anybody interested in reading about that. Mika, you inspired me.
There we go.
Yeah, but it's really cool. I'm glad to see Be the Pen here, Mr. Post-its. Love him.
How are you? Good to see you.
Oh man, I didn't even peep the Post-its.
Yes, it's like always a reminder that I need to organize my life.
That is my desperate attempt at organization. It is not.
How does it go? How does it go though?
How does it go?
Yeah, does it work for you?
So honestly, that's just bars, lines, rhymes, things that when I'm not like actively writing, but like something comes to my mind and like I don't want to forget it. Like I'm old school. Like I have notes on my phone now, but for a long time, like I didn't write on my phone. I was very like intentional about writing with the pen, like being the pen. So I save them. I put them up there. I got a system now. They're color coded, and now like kind of when I'm like writing, I'm like coming up with something. I'm like, oh, I need something like spiritual here. I'm like, oh, grab a purple Post-it. Like see if that'll work. And then like sometimes I'll like just pull them together, and I'll almost like piecemeal a piece. I'll like Post-its.
That's fun though.
Yeah, it reminds me of 5 Heartbeats. You ever saw the movie?
No.
Yes.
Oh man, you have to see it with Robert Townsend, where he used to write song lyrics on little pieces of brown paper. And he would randomly write a lyric and then he would throw it around his room. And so he had all of these random pieces of paper around his room, and he's writing a song, and his sister's like cleaning and she starts singing or like powerfully, and he's like, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. And he's like grabbing random pieces of paper, like, yeah, and then this goes in, and then he finds another one, he's like digging under his pillow, like, yep, okay, yeah, that was it.
That was a really good movie.
It is. Yeah.
You have to make some type of spoken word video and immediately mimic the scene.
Yeah.
Just a poetically theatrical rendition of, what is it called? 5 Heartbeats?
The 5 Heartbeats.
I have to put that on the list for sure.
It would be great. I smell a TikTok coming.
There's some content.
Well, all right, y'all. I figured I would go ahead and kick us off with a little something, get the mic warm for the evening, and then we will go ahead and get into our lineup. We will have Vexlex, you are on deck, and Be the Pen, you are up next, I believe. Yes, that is correct. I'm a mess without J Rose. I'm a mess. So I'm an absolute disaster. So, we're trying out here. But anyway, okay.
Doing pretty well.
She's doing way better than she gives herself credit for.
All righty. By Mika. Okay, guys, so please excuse my background again this evening. I am at my in-laws' house in Tennessee, thus the suitcase. And speaking of in-laws, I wrote a love poem that I really premiered at the end of January at the Chayat Theater. It's one of my favorite ones to do. It's a lot of wordplay. I'm going to go ahead and get into it without further ado. I look over at you driving, and my fingers force themselves to cradle the nape of your neck. Within reach, you must be within my caress. I obsess. I'm short of breath, yet you're also my rest. You have become the rest of me. It's summer. We sweat. Makes brownness no end. It thickens the sand, silks beneath me. And has coexistence always felt so breezy? Your heat, my heat, heavy above our feet so light. I float, I glide, and have the sun always been so sultry? Simple becomes sacred with you. You look at my center and I winter wind within. Magic particles spread throughout my seams. They loosen, they steam, and your mouth is made of my dreams. While awake, I crave something other than this mic in hand. My hands reserved for my breathtaking man. 4 years in, and my awe still expands. Seasons change, and inward you flow, and eternal explode. You know me, your purpose, it holds me. I have found another dream. It is you and your gleam. And clouds cover, turtle's neck. I call and you beck. One day is 1 second, eyes open, I check that you remain. That the promise of you hasn't altered alongside autumn change. That with every moving moment I continue to gain. I cannot lose, not beside you. Yet tragedy tested us sporadically, grief ridden rampantly, spring flowers and showers and powers of questioning all of it. And I lost my mind, but I never lost you. I wake up and choose us, regardless of muck, regardless of countless Black Death, fucked up federal wrecks, frustrations, a whole failing nation, a world of no patience and knowledge of stations, of climate deniers and debt for each mile, and shooters of childs, and yet snow can fall as long as I'm a part of your draw, as long as we continue to call the whole of our flaws. I am still in such awe of you, of us. I don't need a novel, I just need your rush. I don't need more figures, I just need your shush in my ear as I fear, I quiver, I near all of the aspects of you. And I save myself, but the joy that is being yours, it heals me, it pours out my pores. Like glitter, I roar, like lava, I soar, like God, I am more, I am more, I am more. You are the reason the sun falls. You are the reason the rain stalls. You give me each season I season, believe in, hope in your truth, and your voice turns me loose, and I never knew weather until I knew you. Layers on, layers off. Breath comes and breath goes. And I swam, but we row. And what a wonder to know the weather will weather. We continue to grow. The weather will weather, and the seasons bestow certainty. You along me, you along me. Your hands are my trees. You keep me at ease. Another December with you I can be. Whatever the weather, just wait and just see. Whatever the weather, just hear me believe. Whatever the weather, will weather the pressure, whatever endeavor, all pleasure, no sever. We keep no oppressor, we never suppress her. My always, my ever, the weather so clever. It's you and it's me. Whatever the weather, you're made of my dreams. Whatever the weather, you're made of my dreams. And so I look over at you driving and I think to myself, it looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. And poem. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Oh, here he comes.
Yes!
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Love
Woo,
that.
that was powerful.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. It's one of my favorite pieces. Appreciate all of y'all very, very much. Thank you for the love. Thank you, everybody in the building. Let's go ahead and keep it moving and grooving. We've got Vex Lex on Diggity Deck, but coming to bless the microphone right now. Please put your digital and your real hands together for the one and only Be the Purr.
Yes.
Let's go.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so I am Be the Pen, and I am doing a piece tonight in honor of yesterday being my sober birthday. 6 years, no alcohol. And I don't usually do this when I spit this piece. I usually just get right into it, but I'm actually going to give a quick background for what this piece is and what it means to me. When I first quit drinking, I didn't do it in the healthiest way. I found myself with a lot of addictive energy, and I poured that energy into things that were not healthy. I was getting high on Benadryl. There was a lot of pornography involved. It was a mess for a couple of years, and I finally found an outlet for all that in writing. Right when I finally became intentional about creating and crafting pieces and having an outlet, and I decided to pursue that vigorously. And this piece is called The Fuck It Switch. I have been searching all my life for this, found a high that I could never get from hiding behind a blissful pit of alcoholic lifelessness. When I write, and it's just right, and it's like, you can't distract me, because the entire world don't exist for a bit. For a minute, for an hour, wait, how long? Oh shit, 6 it's been. But that's the power, self-empowerment, no alarm to hit, but I'm clocking in, can't stop the kid from popping when he pops out of bed to get at it. Remember this. The feeling that nothing's impossible when the pen is unstoppable and anything's possible when the mindset is optimal. Remind yourself that failure can be optional when the mindset's off to hopscotch and jaywalk across roads and solve problems. You know, if you can walk the walk and talk the talk, then you can walk the talk through obstacles. What, y'all don't believe my talk can do it? Just give me a minute or two. I'll walk you through it. Gonna rise and shine is showtime, like the last 4 years of Benadryl. Hear the buzz and scratch a record hill. Show the people B's needles, cause he needs to be fulfilled. Was living in hell, like a Pokemon balled up in his shell. But he could hardly be Kakuna when he's harden up to Beedrill. I'm saying I'm down to evolve, cause sometimes feeling low can make you better. For some people, that's just what weed'll do at a certain level. But me, I don't blow smoke for the pleasure. I got big feet and a foot-long sub of dreams to build. Got no one else's shoes to fill, yo. But when I find myself some beats to kill, got stones like Sharon when he's flashing the magic of his own inner passion. You can feel it whenever you hear it. It's like he's sticking his own basic instinct in lyrics. Been a few years since he kicked the swill, but did he kick it or just switch his deal up? Thought he had his fill, what was he thinking? Solved nothing that day when he quit drinking. Survival mode on the brink, and when the bottle spilled, the pills were pink. Alone and lonely, righty, Bren? Just you and your fucking hand tonight again. Total loner and broken. I guess that fits the bill. Just watch a show and stroke it. Call that Netflix and Jill. He's been tugging himself under, but he's overcoming, and coming up on enlightenment when the thought begins striking him that if you're going to speak thunder, you better start thinking lightning then. Shit, I may turn the page and just like that be a rapper. No idea what the hell comes to me after, but it's time to focus complete on this chapter. Whole career till now was a series of incompletes, complete disaster as I bombed out of college, just one right after another, so fuck it. Let's just keep spazzing on pads till we get on track and blowing a field where it actually matters. I am bringing it. Not talking blow like landmines, I'm old school ringing it. Off the hook like landmines, like back in the day when old man Peyton was off the chain, he'd just be flipping off the edge to Edger and James because he couldn't find a receiver. Make way, the sheriff's in town to make waves as a new marshal. No, that's all talk. I'm just fucking with you. But when I drop all this canvas, has any of y'all even caught the picture? Stick with the imagery, but if a picture's worth 1,000 words, I'll word 1,000,000 of them. I'm talking enough word work to have my fill of ducats, trash no pages to fill 1,000,000,000 buckets, and cross just one thing off the fuck it list. Thank you. These virtual shows are so much fun. I never know what to do when I'm the only one still up on the stage. I don't know if I have time for another one or not. I hope y'all will let me know. I'm not sure. I wasn't really keeping an eye on the clock. What do y'all think? I can't hear you. I think you're muted.
Sorry. Yes, you definitely have time for another one. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it moving and grooving. I love it. That was fire. I was over here like cackling at some of your, I'm like, that was hilarious. I love you. I see why your method of post-it works because I hear it. I hear it's lovely.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Please give us another one, Be the Pen.
All right, so I'm going to switch the energy up a little bit right now, and we'll just get right into it. Would you rescue me from the chaos of my mind? Would you rescue me? If I told you I was fine, would you rescue me? From the depths of hell's grave fires, would you rescue me? and teach me how to fly. Hear my hell, guys. Felt like I was held hostage by my own mind. See, left alone, everyone's brain is a duel, right? We fight ourselves at times because there's two sides. Corpus colossum divides, but is yours as colossal as mine? I'm doubting it. Not talking about a split personality, bipolarity led me down the most intense search for clarity. Needed my own answers, wasn't interested in your help or charity. But that lonely road traveled only led to disparaging. It almost broke me. Couldn't even reach out for help when I fell. I needed someone to carry me. Thank God for true friends and loyal family. So what have I learned? Not much about disease states or the pharmacological treatments we take or the societal ramifications of the stigma surrounding the patients, but I know a whole lot about the people and what we can make, we create. Yeah, sometimes life sucks, but we're not a drain. Given a little compassion and a ton of patience, you'd be amazed where those two elements alone can take us. We inspire change and reach for greatness, not in spite of, but because of it. I had to learn to love my gifts. Look, it's no secret, no magic pill or breakthrough treatment. It's so simple, but it isn't easy. Just don't give up. Don't stop believing. It's a long journey and it's up to you because ultimately there's not a damn thing someone else can do. All the medications, the relaxation techniques, and the positive affirmations, they're fleeting. So is inspiration. Because they're all external forces. What we need is motivation, a motive for waking, a motive for exercising patience, a motive for identifying behaviors and deeds that we believe are indeed in need of changing, a motive for taking the bad habits we tried breaking to realize nothing ever bears elimination long without a fair replacement. So, what's your purpose? What do you desire from life? What do you constantly find yourself inspired by? What are the skills that you want to take higher, but were told you were crazy or just felt too broken or tired to try? What are you most afraid of failing at? Do it. What are you terrified of finding out you can't do yet? Try that. And before you decide that, set aside all thoughts of goals and dreams and schemes and plans and activities and define that which trumps everything. Who do you want to be? Give yourself compassion, dedication, and the time it takes to cultivate a mindset. Visualize that inside, day and night, dark or light. They both can be blinding, but real answers are about more than surviving the eye test. Hey, it's your life. You don't like it, stop looking outside then. Close your lids and flip your dome, because it takes an open mind to see what you realize and to realize that the real lies in life are the ones we only tell ourselves. That may be the only way out of hell. Sure, other people can help, but you got to commit to yourself. Evict the devil and only keep whatever demons you need, the ones that can serve your achievement. All the rest you can leave. Trust in yourself today and believe in tomorrow, because there's faith for everything else in between. And on those days where my imperfect mortal being is not enough and it's too much for me, I look up to God and I ask him, please, would you rescue me from the chaos of my mind? Would you rescue me? If I told you I was fine, would you rescue me from the depths of hell's great fires? Would you rescue me and teach me how to fly? Thank you. You're muted again. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I can't hear you. You're muted again.
That was amazing. It was deep. Let's give it up for Be the Pen. Everybody, a round of applause. I love it. That was so deep. I want to wish you a happy soberversary from Rose Garden Events.
Thank you.
Thank
you so much.
We are grateful that you spent it with us, and we thank you.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor and a privilege. Happy to be here. And I'm looking forward to what everyone else got too. Let's go.
Let's go. So up next, we have my girl Lex Vex in here and Vex Lex in here. And on deck, we have my boy Poetic Justice. All right. So let's give it up for Vexed Lex.
Thank you, thank you. It's good to be back. I haven't been here in so long, so it's good to be back. I have two pieces. The first piece is called Foundation. Some men will refer to a woman's body as a temple only to be angered that they could not be the first to deface her, joining the other walks of life and entering only to erase her. Their claims of reverence hold no merit as they infiltrate her house of worship, only to wreck her walls and tear away at its foundation, hoping to find what breaks her, believing that she may crumble if they try hard enough. They confer amongst each other as to what makes her continue to stand, despite periods of time when she is left abandoned and her hollowed halls ache in silence. They think she was erected to continuously draw in crowds, while all she seeks is to close her doors and remain in peace. They bow their heads not in prayer, but to disguise their intent to make prey of her. She is the place they come to heal, come to reveal what drives them to sin, while citing her as the dark place they lost themselves in, a marked sanctuary for men to regain lost egos. She is to remain still and admired for her subjective beauty, and they have insisted she is not the first nor the last temple they will have visited. And that's the first piece. Second piece, so I'm currently working on publishing a book. It's going to come out sometime in the summer, and it's called Ask Me Again in 6 months. So here is the poem, Ask Me Again in 6 months. Do people usually find out something is wrong before it's too late, before our possible solutions have been exhausted? Or are they simply told to monitor themselves? Be on the lookout for obvious warning signs, chastised for getting ahead of themselves. I've always believed if I'm not bleeding, it must not be serious. The same way people believe if your skin isn't painted with scars, then you must be handling things well. But how well could things really be? If the floors in my mind won't stop creaking, the walls of my thoughts continue to chip away, how can you repair something that started off broken? I've spent years trying to renovate, and for a while it's been working. My emotional regulation faucet hasn't leaked as much, mostly because I have been hesitant to turn the knobs, since it's still difficult to not see myself as a clogged sink. I've tried to clear my pipes as much as I could, even had professionals give me their prognosis. Am I optimistic about the layout of my home? Ask me again in 6 months. Thank you.
That was amazing. Yes. Give it up for Vex Lex.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Vex, I love your wordplay. You're dope. You're dope. I'm
Thank
grateful for
you.
you.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so we're gonna keep things flowing, right? We have my boy, Poetic Justice, up here. He's been up here working hard. He's been focused. I see you, Poetic Justice. I
Yes.
know you're bringing us some heat.
Oh yes.
Let's bring it. Come on, Poetic.
All right. All right. What's up, everyone? How y'all doing? My name is Poetic Justice, and I got some stuff for you. I got two pieces as well. So this first piece is dedicated to my best friend who recently passed away not too long ago. So I know he's looking down and he's proud of what I'm about to do. So this poem here is called Confession Towards a Father Figure. And it goes like this. Picking up these pieces with a sponge to preserve genuine feelings. while attempting to hug this heart that has a small crack in it due to playing a losing game of Russian roulette these emotions out as long as hearing is confidential. So, where is the crazy glue of I'm still here at, which gave comfort for words to step up to the podium without letting guilt becoming its regretful and stagnant mentor, while breathing in slow so worry cannot detect worrying, because missing that figure brought acting like a father actually has a fruitful manuscript. But these memories seem to question how come those footprints no longer involves the vibration of the shoes showing direction to a wandering spirit. But these memories seem to question how come those footprints no longer involves the stern and compassionate lessons that push this shy, stubborn wall into showing the world how beautiful your own mural can become, while making sure pictures never have an expiration date. But these videos are trying to emulate the smile that has this heart and okay with forgetting how to beat properly. Because in order for the craft to see itself, the artist must first appreciate its originality. Because if darkness wants to see that it isn't alone, the light must be willing to stretch its hand out. Since this passion was formulated from a recipe of ingredients that was brought from the hands of sight, so talking to the wind must have your number in it somewhere, which offered these fingerprints the right sequence to dial your soul. Because hearing seemed to miss that checkup call. Because vision will need intervention with dealing with reminiscing over the fact that his best friend has become an ancestor now. Since logic is forcefully playing catch up with why leaving felt right, while paying homage to the hidden fact that maybe this heart wasn't ready for, which was a strong prescription only you could handle. So, where does guide get guidance from now? So, where does conversation feel important again? But greed doesn't haunt this helpful overthinker, because selfishness never infiltrated this helpful patient, only looking for that sparkling star to brighten up one's path. Since at one point his craft felt blurry from solving everyone else's problems, while the ringing in the ear can't help but to replay, you are going to be famous because I believe you will. So, this isn't a self interest confession trying to find the importance of capital letters, nor is it to glorify one's own justification in a lonely yellow brick road marathon walk, but to heighten the experience that was given. Yes, missing will need a concerning ear as a shoulder for support. And yes, mourning doesn't want an aggressive manuscript called remedy. So give me some time to accommodate these misunderstood feelings. because he was a lot for you, as he did for me, and realize that this is my own confession towards a father figure. Thank you. Let me know if I can do one more. Otherwise, cool.
You got it.
I, hey,
That was beautiful, by the way. And I'm sorry for my technical difficulties, everybody. I am back. But yes, that was absolutely beautiful. Rounds of applause, all the snaps.
thank
Let's
you,
get
thank you.
you back to it, all right?
All right, so we'll do. Okay, so this one I just recently wrote not too long ago. This one is called Soul Heartbreak versus Unconscious Heartbreak. And it goes like this. Now it is time to examine heartbreak under an unbiased lens, while giving your strong tempered ego an etch a sketch so it no longer wants to compete with you, while stuffing the past to the bottom like dirty laundry, so it no longer heightens the smelt of guilt, while giving your emotions headphones so it cannot interrupt this confession. Since if you hear a song long enough, it surpasses your conscious and lives in your subconscious unknowingly to the observer. Therefore, try forcing a binky in the grudge's mouth so experience can be quiet for once. So let's wonder the power of a given heartbreak. Since everyone fought that battle once in their life, so is it real? Don't answer all at once while questioning if the gesture needs multiple responses. And don't participate if society consensus says it is the norm. Well, the answer is no. It cannot feel, but you can. It cannot recuperate while energy does. It is a distance entity looking for a host to become in action. And once it does, the individual looks to live with it first and then depart as if it gave a ring of commitment while harvesting on the damp feelings that pushed you to foresee prior events before they even hit the theaters. So, is it bad or is it pleasant? Only to illustrate how a heartbreak shows that one is willing to tolerate, only to display how it needs the individual to not protect its emotions. Since once they're released, it opens up to a floodgate of words of regret. To have your private number because regretfulness is contagious. So, how about dividing heartbreak from the action that it is attempting to conquer? And remember how strong you already are. Does that show the importance of getting heartbroken? Because one can only know what the meaningful once a destructive force makes protecting a heart a top priority. Because an enemy will be seen as a friend until the veil is taken off. Now, do you appreciate the deception of thinking someone cares when they don't? If the answer is no, then look at the sequence of how they broke it. If the answer is no, then all of them are the same based on haunted house memories that doesn't have foundation as its code of ethics, turning the strings of motions. But if the answer is yes, then see that the outcome is orchestrated by your own free will. And if one chooses yes as an answer, then growth has become your parents while realizing that heartbreak is a concept without a face to distinguish, like a loose leaf paper getting a divorce from words. So if attention isn't presented after the breaking of the so called heart, then one will see that the spiritual heart will continue to grow, no matter if the physical one thinks that it can be broken to begin with. Thank you. That's my poem.
Woo! Tim stayed just to give the snap.
Hey,
Oh, I did you there, Mika? She back. Oh,
Everybody's muted.
me and Mika just
My
keep
bad. My
pressing.
bad.
No,
It's me and this
I'm
mute
pressing the
button.
buttons. You're pressing the buttons. That was amazing. Let's give another round of applause. Poetic Justice. Always good to have you bless the virtual stage with us.
thank you so much for having me.
I believe I also had the pleasure of seeing you live at one of J Rose's open mics.
Yeah.
So is there anything you want to plug for yourself, my friend?
Well, I still got my book out. If anyone is interested in getting it, it's on Amazon. It's called Through THRU Shies SHAI apostrophe S Eyes EYES.
Tight.
Yes,
Make sure you write that in the chats whenever you get a second.
I
So
will.
we can all, where in our generation of laziness, we need to be able to copy and paste everything. And that's not a dig on anybody. That's me talking to me.
Right. Hey, I do it too. So you don't want.
All right. So this is what I'm thinking for the lineup, y'all. Mika, if you wanted to hit the mic right quick. Yes. Miracles, we can have you on deck if that sounds good. And then on double diggity deck, we will have our amazing feature for the evening, Twosense. And then whoever's still in the building will be welcome back for a round two, and we'll take it from there. Does that sound good with everybody?
Sounds wonderful.
Twosense, I hope you heard that. I hope you got your little guy to sleep. Without further ado, I would like to introduce our beautiful, wonderful new mama in the building, poetess extraordinaire, Mika J. Woods. Y'all give a round of applause. Thank you so much for being with us here this evening. I'm going to hand the mic over to you.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Leah V. Thank you for having me. Thank you, J Rose. Thank you to the Virtual Voices audience. Shout out to all the poets. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So as you all know, I am a new mom. So I'm excited about that. But I wasn't always mom. And before I was a mom, I had my struggles with relationships. I'm in a happy one now. I'm grateful. Shout out to him. He's amazing. But before I was in a happy one, it is what it is. And I laugh now because there's the piece that I just spoke about earlier that I'm going to share tonight is reflective on my life before. And it is literally called, I Am Not Your Baby Mother. So I hope you guys are ready for this. I want to say I'm mad at you, but I'm not. I want to say that I can't believe you said what you said, but I can. I want to say that what you did was unheard of. I want to stand here in my conviction saying, no, not him. But sadly, I know that if I speak these lies, everyone who'll hear me will be misled. Because I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at myself. And you told me your truth, but yet it's the truth that I still couldn't digest. And what you did sat in my greatest fears pit. And with you telling me your truth, I thought that meant you were true. And so I stood here, stupid and silent, next to you like Melania Trump, forgetting that I am the diamond that you have to dig for beneath the lump of coal that is you. And sadly, I made it easy for you to bury me, then to use what you could and discard the rest because I'm not your baby mother. So my house is somewhat clean and My house is quiet and clean, and chicken nuggets are not on the menu, and I have time to cater and dedicate to just you because I'm not your baby mother. So there are no kids to wake you up at the crack of dawn, and there is no little person asking to add games to your phone. So of course you find delight in coming to my place late at night on my quiet, well-lit street with my Egyptian cotton sheets in my place where I live alone, so I keep it somewhat neat. You found comfort because I'm not your baby mother. So I don't give you the consistent bother and needs of pleads of things that you should do. And I am not the bill that will always have to be paid from the moment of the child's conception till the moment you lay in your grave, because you chose not to breed me. So like the tree, the branded Trinity, my bloodline will no longer exist after me because I'm not your baby mother. But that doesn't mean that I didn't want to be. But you made that decision for me, choosing to give her your first seed and then come back to me like I'm supposed to accept this newfound family and take my place respectively as your side piece. Knowing that no matter how much you tell me you love me, on your list of priorities, I place at maybe, if I'm lucky, on a good day, I'm number 3. Because I'm not your baby mother, nor am I your wife. So that leaves you with no obligation to me. So you give me your truth, but it means nothing because with her is where your heart is lying, as well as your lips. If you stand here denying that, there is where you now belong. No longer with me or with her or with she. You belong in that house every night with your family. Because I'm not your baby mother, so I get to choose me. So a decision that you made for me, which was originally upsetting, has revealed itself to be the reason I'm no longer stuck settling for you. So I'm grateful for what we have had and the fact that I can so easily let you go because I'm not your baby mother. And that is my piece.
Woo! She is most certainly not. She is most certainly not anybody's baby mother. I mean, technically speaking now.
Now I'm technically someone's baby mother.
Let's give it up one more time for the wonderful, amazing Mika J. Was my mom texted me and she was like, she said, the Yankees are losing, but I am watching the new mama on the laptop.
Thank you, Mama. Thank you.
So Mama G is heard you. Thank you so much. That was absolutely beautiful. And I appreciate you speaking once again, so candidly about your experience as a mother. I think it's beautiful. It's new for me. I imagine it's new for a lot of people. So it's enlightening to hear, truly. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and get into it. We have our amazing feature on deck. You are up next, sir. But coming to bless the microphone right now, I need y'all to put your virtual and your real palms together for the one and only Miracle.
Yes! Waited all night.
Let's go.
Hey everyone, I got 2 pieces. We'll get right into it. Perfection was never the source of resurrection. The higher power died for your sins, completion with imperfection. Here you are standing, trying to find your purpose. Inhale, exhale. Take a deep breath. Breathe, taking in every fresh air, trying to make it through these trials and tribulations. And need to make room for elevation, reliving moments unimaginable. You, my child, live for today, not for tomorrow, nor yesterday. Accept life for what it is, subtracting, multiplying, dividing what is meant to be, what is considered to be a necessity. At times, your soul lives to see another day. Other times, it dies, not being able to resuscitate. We relives, providing another chance. Another opportunity, never take a day for granted. Perfection was never the source of resurrection. That's one. And then this is the last one. DIVORCE. Divorce, rationally divorce ignorant visualizations of racial conceptions, erasing those contemptuous minds and believing that us colored brothers and sisters are up to no good, not giving us a chance to shine. From the bottom of our feet to the top of our heads, diluting our sweet brown sugar complexion, limiting us to restrictions to equalize the world to only satisfying the white man. What is it he can do that we can't do? What makes him so different? Why is it all right for our dark males and females to be labeled as slaves while the white folks are titled slave masters? Controlling the slaves that remove from raping to killing to not being able to use the same water fountain but breastfed your white children? What is it you don't like about us color folks? Are you mad because we were blessed with different shades of color? Don't mistaken our different skin tones for dirtiness. We are all human beings who give you the voice to say we do not deserve equal rights. Divorce the misconceptions of your negative consciousness, giving you in the rightful directions of our history, culture, morals, and values. And reflect on the fact that we still rise beneath your ambiguous, hateful discrimination. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Miracles. As you can see, it's uniquely spelled Myraklez. I hope you enjoyed.
Damn, by the time I went to go click her shit.
Woo! Give it up. I just love your cadence every time you perform with us. You know, it's just such
yes.
It's deep and it's powerful, and you can really feel, you know, the rightful anger that you have and the parts that you need to have it in. But the way you deliver it is almost musical because you have such a flow. It's really it's very polished, if I do say so myself.
Thank you. Thank you.
I love how you put that, Leah. Rightful anger.
Yeah, you know, because I'm not trying to diminish anything. You feel me? Thank you again, Miracles. Is there anything else you want to plug before?
Not the time.
Okay. Well, thank you once more for blessing the virtual mic. We have a very, very special feature coming to bless the digital stage. I have the pleasure of being introduced to him because J Rose nabbed him up for us over here. So I get the pleasure of having my first full feature now. All the performers watching, all the performers backstage, anybody who wants to perform, we will be doing a round 2 after this. So sit tight. But without further ado,
if you don't have the link, just drop a mic in the chats and we will definitely send you a link so you can join us in the studio and have your 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah, or 5 minutes.
Five. Sorry, 5.
All right. Without further ado, drum roll, please. Well, I know we have to do your mic check first, so let me welcome you into the stream, onto the stage.
Yo, can y'all hear me? I don't know if y'all can hear me.
Yes, you sound great.
Okay, because I was trying to be fancy before with the microphone. I was like, you know what? Let me just Bluetooth it.
No, you sound great.
Solid. Thank y'all so much for having me, and thank you, J Rose, for the opportunity. But yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. I haven't done a virtual open mic or a virtual feature since like COVID, so I've been real reclusive. But pleasure to meet you, everybody. I go by the name of Twosense, like the senses, not the senses, but I got a couple pennies for your thoughts. A little bit about me is I got good at putting words into sentences. I proclaim life my mentor. I might come off as insensitive, but sincerity is my intentions. And did I mention, welcome to my intervention. I have gathered you all here today to admit that I have an addiction. See, this addiction can be like many of you. See, I'm addicted to a screen that's reflective. And this addiction can be my virus or medicine so long as I get a daily dose. I mean, I can only come so close to a healthy was supposed to know. And believe me, I should know. See, I would stare at my phone like it's habitual, like a narcissist who found a way to make an iPhone a pharmacist, yet every day I don't look the same. See, what you're used to seeing is a man full of self-esteem, when in reality, I'm a tin man, full of steam like the smoke I blow. But don't look behind the curtains, no, keep those closed. There you find a big head inhaling OZs of false reality, claiming possessions of false wizardry, posting keys of yellow bricks, smile like emojis, all in attempts to get my fix from your ruby red hearts and medals from the courage to be vulnerable. See, I become so full of myself, I become toxic. And I realized that the quickest way to be healthy was to become exotic. You know, falling in the places that you used to be, from social circles to social feeds. You'll notice I post less of me. And I'm noticing I'm learning to love myself a little more progressively. I'm no longer the man you saw posted only moments ago, so this next post would be titled The Death of an Ego. See, I'm ready to commit social suicide, shit, maybe even get canceled, but before I hit send, I think I need to ask some questions. See, I've noticed I become studious and steadily I'm stuck in contemplation. And by the time I'm done contemplating, guaranteed my phone's dead. And I may never hit send. And I'm okay with that. Because I know an iPhone is a syringe that loads people up with daily doses of things in the form of a fix. And as a rehabilitating addict, I know they need something to feed them life in place of their own shit. And then it's just back to reality. But don't it seem odd? We only post our highs hoping to catch you in your lows just to boast our egos. So we gain a high through a post and we stick to it. And write it back like relapse with each new like and comment like another hit. It's become viral. This friction has become my addiction, the way I can read diction and find meaning through insights, but through dictionary, a meaning in sight, just a scale on which we OD on the instant grams of life, and then we become desensitized. So we then need more life by posting fake life and ingesting fake life, but that's just too real life. It may be too real for you to realize. You may be a sheep with wool over your eyes. I dare you to learn that truth and share that with public eyes. Now that's social suicide, but it's okay. Be warned. If you follow me, guaranteed you'll see my bare face, no filter in sight, no lie is intended. I'm removing myself from shit that has no business living in. And by the time you run into my timeline, I'd have already called a lifeline to help run me out of this rat race with the distance between posts form 160 characters or less. And by the time I'm done, I'm hoping to have less characters than that, so keep up. Like a relay, I'm losing followers every day. And it's okay because, you know, social media is fake anyway. So guaranteed everything new I've learned, I've read it. Instead of a screen, my face is in a book. Now ain't that meta? Learn to cherish my space and I get stuck in old ways. For the past ain't my present and the future has no place in current events. So I don't trend. The only tweets I care to hear are non-fictional. See, outside is where I grow the most. And as a Virgo, I'm learning to root for my environment. And rehabilitation ain't no picnic. And it's a hard road, so I can expect fewer friends and some relapses. Like, damn, Kanye West again. That boy crazy. First off, I want to give salute to the new mother in the house. Salute to my mans with a friend, Ashe. I'm definitely entering this phase, or I've entered a phase of straight either mature, grow, or fall behind and lose everything. I too have a son. He just turned 2. And let me tell you something. There ain't nothing false about the terrible twos. My son just recently learned sign language and it comes with a heavy hand. But I've had so much time for introspection before and during becoming a father. And there's just so much that goes into it, and you have to be strong when you're being bombarded in this echo chamber of unsolicited advice and also the combatants between two parents that want to be the best for their child. It's no easy road. And I can't wait for my little man to be able to talk because I just wanted to tell him how excited I was for him to be here and how excited I am for him to be here. I would tell him this. I said, son, I dreamt of one day placing your preciously plump head between my chest for pulmonaries pumping, pulsing pop song. Precarious. You'll ponder where the pop will ever leave you. A possibility that pops into tots periodically as these thoughts may persist. Yo, I'm a pop that's persistent. Papa will be here to protect you. I will forever be present, pressuring you to pursue the paved pathway before you, presenting opportunities both precious and powerful, preventing those painful scuffs of your popliteal to persuade you of not persevering. You will push on, and stronger than ever. But please, sometimes I must persist that you don't always do what I portray, but you practice what I preach. Papa got you. And with the help of Mama, we aim to uplift you, propelling you towards the prized possession called the good life. And I pray. I pray for better days more so than poor ones. Positive thinking, I know, because I know perfect days aren't perpetual. And I pray you never play pessimist, though sometimes pride gets the best of us. And I pray you are never preyed on, but you are preyed upon. Not every person will have your best interest in mind, so please pick peers that won't prevent prosperity and a partner who will place you a priority. For you will be born into a place that paints people the tones they are born with, so guaranteed privilege will not be your power. But I will prep you to prosper through the perils of the planet, paving passable passage, procuring you the proper reward for the hard work I know you will produce in this lifelong pilgrimage of life. And lastly, I pray you always proclaim peace for your person through whatever destiny has to throw your way, my precious seed. This is a prayer from Pop to Pup, so that you may one day produce pieces of wisdom from your own tree, for I plowed through an unpromised life with plenty of wisdom and experience to pass upon you, my precious piece of peace. So that, son, that you may one day have a better life than me, eventually. And I can't wait to tell them how scary and unknowing this journey is in parenting a child. And there's just so much that goes into it, man. This the most hardest time that I had in parenting was definitely at the end of last year. And it was just a journey of just deep introspection, like, why isn't this working? Why did this work? A split, a remolding, a readhesive relationship. There's just so much, and I've done so much shadow work and just self work and just everything, talking to people, therapy, and all these things. And it really allowed me to pick up my pen and not just write poetry, but like to literally just start journaling. And I became real particular with what I decided to listen to. So I now, like, I only listen. I had a hard time listening to anything with lyrics. So I would listen to like Serenity, a bunch of ABBA piano and all that stuff. But in reflection on that, I remember a little bit ago, I was listening to a J. Cole song. I was like, yo, some artists have the ability to really rap like, yo, you're right there in the speaker with me in my stereo system in my car. And so I was like, yo, what are your traumas? And there's a lot of Black men that have a lot of traumas that rap about it, but it's just so glazed over or glossed over because you're just listening to the wordplay, how many bitches he's fucking and all that shit. So I'm like, yo, what is this? How did you get this depth? And I wrote a piece, and I wanted so hard to commit it to memory, but I really want to share it with you guys because I love this piece. So I will be reading this one from my phone. I know sometimes you guys say, fuck it, right? But if I was to speak to a person that was spitting on the radio, I would say, yo, when you're around me, my senses feel like I'm Spider-Man prospecting his surroundings, because when you speak, I hear the strain in your vocal cords like a type of clenching comprehension in between tempos. I hear the boiling tempo of misunderstood temper from misunderstood timber. I envision deep nail incisions, imprints from forming fists, and I can nearly taste the ocean's mist from sodium trails etched into skin behind that mask of an outlet you've substituted for a therapist. What I'm saying is, I'm empathic. Your eyes are like beaten trails, and I can't help but be tempted by the breadcrumbs you left for someone to trail you. And I know you're afraid to show any trails like them, because then they would just call those projections and give you salty eyes on top of salty ones. What I'm saying is, I understand the anger that misunderstanding brings. But simmer down, young man. Can I speak some life into you for a second? I know your world paints vivid pictures with chainsaw paintbrush. A beautiful disaster is changed class with canvas, but in the chaos there is beauty. Beauty in how you see the world. Beauty in how the effects of poverty cause your words to tell tales not so tall enough to be intangible. Beauty in how you now appreciate the curves that came from how mama curves empty tummies or curves seen from cheeks, so mama can see you went another day with something to eat. And as a parent, I don't believe you know how important that can be. So you're now inspired to kindly treat and respect the woman that can turn soup from sea. So quiet your busy mind, for in time beauty will shine through it. Shine like lyrics portraying the shine like lyrics and paintings that portray ebony come up, for ivory tries to keep you down. Yet in the midst of adversity, I need you to shine like your presence, for you're gifted with the radiance of royalty. I know your blood is boiling, but brewed up potionery is deep rooted in you like voodoo, reflecting the grace of an Ogun, Obatala, or Oshun. Indeed, there lies a deity that's listening. And I hope eventually you hear your ancestors whispering. Your vivid imagery claims how beautiful a day it is when you can spend another day above hollow ground, for field holes hold whole deposits where dreams go to die, making everyday life choices expensive. So ain't life a luxury? One not worth squandering, and death a club we aren't dying to get into, yet the entry is inevitable. So don't cut the line just because you can't handle the pressure of the weight, and don't pay that cover of a tombstone too soon, for what's etched into it now is not the final words that slate will say. And you know there's beauty in the misunderstanding of a cover, for your book is read at a glance with no regards for its contents, or you are garments judged by appearance, but understand how you're the most beautiful thing to come into world's context. You are truly God's creation, and we are most godly when we can artistically seize God's paintbrush. We be carbon copies. We, the deities that were called to create, is if we asked God why we had to cease these Argonauts and ask why we can never be convinced to be seen as astronauts, she would say, I got this. Just trust in my process. From misplaced chains found their ways to be free, for freedom comes in waves, and we rockin' the boat. And turbulence made your voice turn artistic, made your strokes more gifted, be it to paint from a brush, lyrics from a pen, or stitches from your needle. For years, your beauty and busy mind is what caused your complex to be the most complex brown skin complexities. For your story is truly a man's origin, except replace lions for sirens, ships with paddy wagons, overseers police, whips for batons, iron chains for gold ones, famine from poverty, droughts with drunk, civil wars for racial ones. The brutal beauty in the past proves history acts as paint in our palettes we will use to create another beautifully colored masterpiece. So yes, simmer down, young man. With that talent in your DNA in the right direction, with your valid feelings, the world is ready to see the next masterpiece you create. And I wrote that in hopes that one day I can speak to somebody in the audience, an artist, even my son, to be like, you're heard, and you're felt. And in this deep introspection I had the last like 5 to 6 months of last year, I had to be a proponent to being my own cheerleader, my own motivation sometimes, because you can get motivation from everybody around you all you want, but until you really feel it yourself, it's hard to believe it. So I had a lot of convincing to do, and I came up with this mantra for myself, and you're gonna hear it in this one. But I said, let's take this moment. Let's take this moment to realize how potent the if, the maybe, or the potential, and how unhappy we are. And let this space be a safe place for you to acknowledge each scar. Let them breed reminders that you've come this far, and let us remember that your past is not who you are. And if you can't give it to yourself, then I give you permission to admit that you're hurting. Even if you feel like you're not right now, it's okay. It's just right now is not your service, but for those of us who can. To admit this will take some courage. I mean, the epiphany is inevitable. Every shadow needs some work, and trust me, I know you probably feel like your problems are undeserving and your woes are a burden to certain persons, but in the midst of feeling imperfect, let this mantra help you to feel certain. I am not worthless, I am worth it. I am my purpose on purpose. My God told me, boisterous, you will be happy eventually, even if only temporarily. Still take these words and rehearse it. Rehearse it till you surface. You'll refuse to drown any longer. Realize that changing your perspective from being buried to waiting for your emergence is transformative. God also told me to affirm it. She said, your presence is intoxicating. You're more potent with resistance, so practice patience and endurance for my goals, and maybe I furthers, but guaranteed it'll get better after it worse. See, I realize that I am my firmest when I hold strong a vision of a better version. See, I'm only a person, capable of flaw amidst perfect. Matter of fact, I worship failure like a churchman, became honest with myself. Realize that I'm more potent and strong when I admit that I am hurting, yet I am not worthless. I am worth it. I am my purpose on purpose. Let it affirm greatness like a certain leaders of service. I am molded with courage. I can afford my better self no matter the currency, and currently I'm working on action or purposefully. See, I can feel an evolution from dormancy, and I learned that the universe listens closely. So practicing improving your fluency would change your life but for the better when spoken. I've learned that words make do of me, so therefore I've developed clairvoyancy. For what I do and practice now will birth a better me. So I'm learning to recite impeccably. For you can feel these deep scars etched into skin and they show my durability. So I give myself grace. I make this space to give myself grace, like trouble don't last always. For you'll get better in time, you only need to wait and see. And let's give birth to newer possibilities. And let's stop being our biggest enemies. And I guarantee that with the shift from negative to positivity, your words will birth newer possibilities. I give you permission to admit that you're hurting, not to wallow, not to feel bad for yourself, but to admit that you're a work in progress so that you can give yourself more when you feel like you deserve less. For we are not worthless. We are worth it. We are our purpose on purpose. And I've learned that I real life believe that I'm placed here to be like a light to some people. I'm not trying to be full of hubris or anything like that. I'm like, yo, sometimes what I got to say can really help somebody, and sometimes what anybody got to say can really help somebody. And I like to put myself in that position, and it's easy to do that in an audience because I'm like, yo, y'all my proof. I can say whatever I want to you, and y'all are validating my experience. And I'm definitely learning not to seek validation in other people's opinions. And I'm definitely trying to learn how to really practice what I preach. But practice what I preach is a preacher like to teach, and it's easier said than done until you got to practice what you preach. But in this roller coaster of life, I've went through plenty of trauma and experiences, some firsthand, some secondhand. And one of those experiences came from what I witnessed with my sister. And trigger warning for those who want to push mute. This is a piece about domestic violence. And it definitely, what I witnessed through that definitely taught me the man I want to be and how I don't want to ever put my hand on a woman. And also how to give admittance to the fact that there's more than one way to abuse somebody. And it's verbally, emotionally, mentally, physically. But after blood, pain, sweat, and tears, it's going to take a couple of years for the scars to disappear, but will they ever vanish? A victim to her circumstance, she's tired of her struggles. Her life's in many pieces, they're all part of a puzzle. A jigsaw is what she saw, what she was in for, and the sad part, a mirror was the only support. The cuddle of her hug is all she really needed, but the man she retreats to was constantly mistreated. Beaten and bruised, she can't take it no more. It's like she was in playoffs and he loves playing sports. See, I don't get it. How do you deliver hands when you're a man? Her body is a temple that wasn't part of the plan. She's delicate to the touch, but tough enough to withstand the hatred that you spew when you're the broken man. I'm just saying. Her blueprint was disrupted, so it's time for reconstruction. It's now time for a change, but there are no instructions. And if she acts funny, then he knows she's up to something. So she's stuck going in circles and she's never gonna go. Ain't that something? Look at what some conditioning can do. Old habits die hard, but let's hope they die faster than you. This man has you shackled and is damn near voodoo, so you bend to his wind, your own will misconstrues you. You claim it's tough love, but these sandpaper hugs will smooth you. Because baby, listen, your beauty, your beauty is braille. So these sandpaper hugs make your definition fail. He silenced you. And your braille's turn to goosebumps. You want to scream out, but your mouth is bruised shut. So your only cry for help is recited with a shrug. I asked, what's up, Ma? Nothing much. After blood, pain, sweat, and tears, it's gonna take a couple of years for the scars to disappear, but will they ever vanish? It may seem outlandish, but she wanted them to stay like all along. She had planted these permanent marks and engraved in the dermis of her soul, learning many lessons of new and of old, till she now bounced back with a skin like stone and the double strength of a healed broken bone. But how do you condone? Life is constantly mistreated, but she's used to the punishment of afraid of the demons, of a man that says I love you and actually means it. In walks a man that can possibly be God sent. But to what extent will you circumvent? You don't believe it, because the last man that came with this passionate left you bleeding. She says, I'm used to it. It only happens a few times a year. I mean, it's not that bad. See, the bruises, they disappear. Shh. I don't want him to hear you. Please disappear. And if I close my eyes tight, it will all disappear. He always says he loves me. And this is why I'm here. And I know she really means it, because he says it loud and clear. Angry at her ignorance to his struggles, the man now cast in love was quick to rebuttal. Are you serious? Do you hear yourself right now? The man beats you. You even lost a child. Now look, Ma, I really want to love you. You're intricate, you're beautiful, and your mind speaks volumes. See, he's what you want, and I could be what you need. So forgive me if I feel the need to intervene. I would love to be that man to sweep you off your feet. And every word the man spoke, she found it hard to believe. Because the last man with this much passion was quick to deceive. How can a man, another demon, provide this belief? So she says, no, thank you. I can do for me. But I thank you for the seed, for I will plant it and grow it into a tree, and every day I will water it with my blood, pain, sweat, and tears. I mean, it may take a couple of years for the scars to disappear, but will they ever vanish? It may seem outlandish, but maybe God had it happen this way, like all along. She had planted these permanent marks engraved in the dermis of my soul, taught me many lessons of new and of old, like how to be bold, how to take control, and how to never let another man treat me this low, because I've come to realize that 6 feet deep is as low as you can go. And I wrote this poem in hopes that somebody can see that affection and toxicity can be like sandpaper. So that piece was called Sandpaper, because you get rubbed the wrong way enough times, you smooth out and lose that definition. But amongst that, there's just so many things to learn. Like, I guess that's the theme for life, my life really. And there's so much shit to learn. And then now being a father, there's so much shit to pass upon my son. And it pains me. It really does, because we have to be so careful what molds his minds. And I am a guilty person and guilty member when it comes to molding some of the bad habits that I have in his, because I'm a cusser. I'm for sure a sailor, and he'll be walking around. Me and his mother be having a cool culture conversation, but out of nowhere, oh, but fuck, shit, fuck. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, yo, we ain't even yelling right now. What is you doing? But I think it's cute because he's expressing himself, but his mama don't like it, and I gotta respect that. But we gotta be real picky on what molds his minds, and it saddens me to see all this shit that's going in on the news, talking about shootings up of schools and all of this shit, all this death to the babies. And it's, it was real sick too. I recently became a poet mentor educator for a school system, and now my pops knows that, and he hit me up like, yo, are you good? I just heard that there was a shooting in front of another high school in that district. I'm like, yo, I would have the same fear with my son. So now I'm feeling what you felt in another perspective. And I'm like, yo, what brings a kid to that? What's going on in schools? And I can kind of peep it with my new job. I'm like, yo, kids are ruthless. People are ruthless. It's just kids are a little less filtered when it comes to that. And the shit is, it's if they can't take it out on somebody else, then it ends up them taking it on themselves. And then I gotta speak to the children like, yo, I know it's crazy these thoughts you may have. You might have the weirdest, most insane thoughts that make sense to you, like suicide. And trigger warning: this is about suicide. And you can have scary thoughts like suicide, and then suicidal thoughts will turn to habitual tendencies. And razor blades spin the knife line and where them tendons be. Only looking within, so I guess I got a friend in me, always feeling victimized. Everyone's an enemy. Noose around my neck and it's choking where I need to breathe and it's choking too tight, but I guess that scared some sense into me. Shit. Like why slit a wrist and suffocate all my energy when my energy is grabbing where I need to squeeze. But still to the temple, threatening to end me, tears will down my cheek. I'm asking, is this where I need to be? But what brought me to this? What brought me to my knees looking back at it all? I'm glad I kept the diary. It's all the bad shit and it felt so inspiring. I'm scared, Lord. Please, please come and help me. I'm not liking this deck of cards that the devil's dealt me, constantly reminding me on why I need to end it now. It's like I'm a black sheep kick the stairs in a vicious crowd. You know, it all seems so scary when it's struggling to breathe. And here I am, I thought I can end it with ease, but God rocked my boat. He said, you can test it free. He said, everything you pray for, you eventually receive. Suicidal thoughts, never thought I could be so weak. It's like I have life, but I can also be a thief. So please, never turn your back if you have a friend in need, because the next time it could be you or me. And Lord, please forgive these suicidal tendencies because I've never been depressed. I've never been depressed. I've never been sad. I've never been happy. And I've never been in denial either. Maybe just a little bit. But instantly I try to fix it. So I wrote a letter to myself to address it. Subject, depression, body. Dear self, how was your day today? I know you had a rough day, but that's okay because tomorrow very well may be great. I remember how you felt when you felt that way. I was there. But let me remind you that I'm here to hold you dear, like the prefix to this letter, dear self. You are dear to me, and I want to guarantee that you will keep on fighting, smiling, piling yourself with countless achievements. I know today may promise to bring anxiety, but let's make sure we make that as temporary as a Cracker Jack box tattoo. Although we know it's promised to be long lasting, just know it's not permanent. And permit me to say that, I got your back. Yeah, I got your back. I got your back like a Sheila. I got your back like that favorite jazz book backpack in the 7th grade. I got your back like a shield that prevents backache from falling back in your back when you're backed up too late and got hit by something stray and you're now in pain, dear me. You will make a million mistakes, but never once were they a bad thing. See, if you keep doing them the same way, I call that missed opportunity, but each time you're mistaking that for something good, avoiding that ill-fated phrase, I won't ever try that again. So you have this ability to change mistake to great. So why linger? Why linger like that must that stains the air? You hate the smell of smoke, but resorted to toast just to exhale temporary relief and inhale regret and self-disappointment. But it's okay. It's okay to be disappointed in yourself. It's just another way of recognizing yourself. That once dark figure in the mirror grows clarity as you gain the courage to go nearer and nearer, and you're near her. Caught in the gaze, fixed in the presence, you didn't dare misbehave. She feeds you hope, purpose, and promise of another day, dear he. He told himself to check his pronouns because his actions are the results of no one else but me. Me, a name given to self, who finally found it okay to be selfish, who gave me meaning and answered the question that stayed incessantly. And the question is, well, who is he? And the answer is, I am him, proud, brave, and thankful to be alive today. Him who has this profound ability to bless pessimism with pleasantry. Him, he is me, and I thank God for all of it. But dear self, dear you, my live stream, how was your day today? Yeah, that is my 2 cents. I appreciate y'all for your time, and thank you so much for having me. I've been trying not to cough this whole time, and I need a goddamn. I cannot hear you guys. I'm sorry.
I wasn't ready. I'm overwhelmed. I'm feeling a lot of emotions right now. That was like a spiritual journey you just took us on. I mean, I feel like I should have been taking notes because there's so many different things that I wanted to touch upon that you said. But first of all, everybody in the
2 seconds.
audience.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what's happening right now, but for some reason, y'all speech is super slowed down. Like it sounds like somebody's playing the record real slow. I just so
I
weird.
don't know what
Mika,
happened.
can you hear me?
I hear
It might be
you.
me though.
I think
Uh,
it's
can I
you.
hop off and hop back on real quick? Is that cool? Okay, I'm gonna hop off and hop back on. Real
Well, everybody in the audience, let's give a round of applause.
He was super dope. Super dope. He had like this. There was a part where he did a wordplay on pray on and pray. I think that was like his
Mhm.
second piece, and
Yep.
he was talking about his son. And just like,
I know it was beautiful, and I really appreciate it. Man, I wish he was on to see this, but it's okay. We'll encourage him to watch the playback. The way the transitions, I think that one of the most beautiful things that you can do as a featured poet who features in a lot of places is make your make your whole set. There he is.
yeah,
um I think one of the most amazing things that you can do as a feature poet is to transition your pieces so that you don't realize that your pieces are being transitioned, so that there's a flow, there's a narrative. And that's something that I struggle with personally. So it was really dope to see. And the content was heavy. I mean, there's a lot that I wanted to read as well. It's definitely the type of content you need to hear multiple times, because I'd like I'm getting stuck on alliteration of the P's here, but you're also saying like very important things. So it's like, man, my mind is just gonna explode. There's so many different pieces moving. It was a wonderful thing though. I'm delayed, I believe.
I appreciate you. Thank you. Uh, it's still happening, but I'm listening to you on here, so I'm so sorry. Um, but I appreciate that. Thank you for receiving that. Thank you for receiving that. You probably can hear it on here too. I'm sorry, but hey, I might can got it now. Do I got it?
Hello.
you
Testing
hear
one,
us?
two,
I don't.
three.
Just kidding. I don't know what's going on, but thank you for everything that you said. I heard it on here.
Okay, let's get 2 cents off the screen so as to not have any more multi-layer inception audio. But I'm just glad it didn't happen, as he was going, because the flow is just a thing of beauty. It was just a thing of beauty. Y'all make sure that you follow 2 Cents. I kept his banner on the bottom over here, got his Instagram, Cash App, all that good stuff. If you don't have the extra coins to throw to an artist, it costs absolutely $0 to follow somebody. So show some love. I peeped on his Instagram that he's up and popping and got shows all over. So let's make sure we follow one another. Let's make sure we keep showing love. Wow, what a beautiful thing. We are gonna go ahead and bring up. Oh yes, I see miracles. I see you have returned, poetic justice. I see you still in the building. Um, do you want to do, Mika? Do you want to do? What would you like to go? Should we do miracles and poetic justice and no poetic justice and miracles and you? Poetic justice.
Sure.
Okay. All right, y'all. So this is what we're gonna do here. We are going to bring up poetic justice, followed by miracles, followed by my amazing, glorious, wonderful co-hostess with the mostest for the evening, and then 2 cents. If you have no screaming children to take care of or anything of that sort, we would love to welcome you back as well, all depending on technological circumstance. Okay, so without further ado, let's go and get ahead and get into it. Bringing up for our lightning round. Let's put our hands together for poetic justice.
Thank you, thank you. All right, all right. So this poem right here is called "Unorthodox Drug Dealer." And it goes like this. Psst. Hey, come here. Come here. So I can show you what I have. No, I don't have anything to alter your perception. No, I don't have something to forget your reality, even if reality is all in the mind. And no, I don't have an escape for the pain that you cannot get rid of. So I bet you're wondering what is under this black trench coat. What if I said it isn't magic? Would you digest it? Or would you call me a fraud because I'm stealing your intentions without a purpose? Well, I'll curb your enthusiasm. Can't believe you actually need a hint to yourself. It is a shame that one gets a blurry vision when exercising the mirror to its full potential. It's understandable that society needs people not to think. It's okay if you need help to express. Oh, my fault. It's okay if you need some help to express your natural power that is stored within, not the mind, since since control starts above the cerebral cortex, but what others call the pineal gland. Hey now, I'm still a drug dealer, just to let you know. But the purpose is not self-centered by human thoughts. I guess you are wondering what I have for you. It is a pill, not a red pill or a blue pill, not a pill with more side effects than cures, but a pill that all religions swore to give to help you endure the pain that made you who you are. It is called self, the one that a lot of people think video chat can fulfill, the one that makes cyberbullying thinks it is trending. Because being original is looked at as being irregular. But I give you self with the unorthodox of not being identical, since it is hard to control someone who feels control as immoral. Just understand that once the human emotions are left behind, now their true self actually gets a turn. You might experience the loss of fear or the absence of apathy towards someone who's only looking for superiority. It makes one forget about the division of two. This is for the one who knows their true identity and aren't hiding behind their own face. It will make you reform to the heritage that the soul already knew before words and help shed the skin that was forced with encyclopedias. But I give you the thrill to protect the helpless, since people were more valuable than green bucks at one point. So once you start thinking with self, then the values also change. Just ask the mirror for once. I bet you are wondering, how much is this pill? Well, if you know, if you want to know, it is free. It doesn't cost anything to take the pill. Only the infatuation of losing it all. But what are you really losing when everything is already stored inside of you? If you are still somewhat confused, I'll tell you nothing. Thank you. I
Leah, you're muted, but that
yeah.
was amazing, Justice. Thank you so
Every
much.
time. I gave a whole round of applause, and Tim was applauding too in the
Hey,
background.
let's go to. Thank you.
There he is. But you have just such a beautiful cadence. I really appreciate your rhythm, and your tone and your voice. It's very melodic. So thank you for blessing us as always. We
Thank you again. I appreciate all of y'all. Appreciate this space. Thank you very much.
and
Yes,
we'll,
thank you, poetic justice. You are so deep, and you as well as Two Cents touch on topics that are risky but need to be talked about.
mm-hmm,
So I
for sure.
appreciate you, and I love how you made the drug dealer sound smart because drug dealers are not dumb. That is real. They are smart. They are salesmen. They are
Mm,
marketers. They are good at math. They are good at
mhm.
science.
Goodness.
Like
Right.
so the whole myth of them being dumb and it's a myth. And if society started looking at them as the geniuses they are, then
Mhm.
maybe we would be able to look at the drug problem a little bit differently.
Mm,
Like,
right.
look at
Yeah.
it as it's because these guys are able to be millionaires,
Mhm.
but they've used their genius for something else. So,
Right.
you
So
know,
that's why I wanted to give a little light on the drug dealer. Just a different perspective.
I
For
I I,
sure.
I hear you. I hear you, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
That was beautiful. It's all beautiful. Tonight has been beautiful. I don't know if beautiful is a word. I understand we touched upon some darkness and whatnot, but I think that the ability to share it is beautiful.
Very much so. This is a great space, seriously.
Thank you. Hopefully we see you next month. You know, we're here every third Friday. J Rose and I typically we take the summer off because I have a July birthday. She has an August birthday.
Oh, wowzers. Ain't that cool?
But we'll be, she and I are working on some projects. Yeah, I don't want to drop any hints or anything, but
Uh-oh.
we will be hosting something. So maybe we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, Poetic Justice.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I looking forward to the next one. Y'all have a wonderful night.
Yes, you too.
All right, all right, all right. So we've got co-hostess with the mostest on Ziggity Deck, but coming to bless the microphone right now. Put your hands together, returning the one, the only miracles. Woo! There she is.
Hey everyone. Before I go into this piece, I just want to apologize because it got a little bit of cursing in here, and I know we're on YouTube and Facebook, but it has a meaning behind it. My big, beautiful, dark cocoa brown eyes talks a lot of shit. Nah, literally, if I have to look at you expanding my eyes wide with my left eyebrow raised, no judgment. But the first thing I'm wondering is what type of fucked up shit you on? For the people who know me, are you surprised about what just currently came out of my mouth? Well, I said, my big, beautiful, dark cocoa brown eyes talks a lot of shit. My eyes have no censor. They are my voice articulating each and every action, emotion, feeling, and words conveying a message loud and clear. They interpret my narrative. You know how they say when one senses are weak, then another sense is much stronger? Well, pay the fuck attention. I'm hearing impaired. I can only hear out of one ear. With that being said, my big dark brown eye sees and observes everything. I feed off of each and everyone's energy, whether negative or positive. My eyes are multi talented. In a nonverbal way, they reiterate multiple languages while my eyes focuses on you, my brain, and the tension in my veins performs hopscotch crisscross around about to you and other folks in this room. Listen loud and clear. Only certain people will understand my eyes are my instrument. Without any sound, they have the tendency to go from high to low frequency to 0 to 1,000 capacity. Symbolically, they represent who I am. Don't get it twisted. Verbally, the sounds and words that come out of my mouth, I say each and everything respectfully. But who, child, my eyes on the other hand are on some disrespectful shit. If I have to take 1 second, look at you with a stern glimpse, I definitely mean business. About 80%, I am usually serious. The other 20% depends on what kind of mood I'm in. My big, beautiful eyes spoon food feeds you all. When I'm bored and want to indulge in something new, because this poem right here is the new shit. At times, I wish men would pay close attention to my gorgeous eyes, cater to my eyes, personality, and characteristics. My big, beautiful, dark brown, gorgeous eyes have more to offer than my double D cup sized breast. My brain sends signals to my eyes, wanting to say, you make me want to slap the motherfucking shit out of you. But listen closely. I'm on the top level of classiness. Allow me to introduce to you the voices in my eyes, not my head. If you dare cross my big brown eyes, you are non existent. Thank you.
Woo! Girl, I heard you do that one a couple times. And I just love it so much. Every time you do it, it's more and more powerful.
Thank you.
Seriously.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much.
I really do love your piece, and I really love that one. It's deep, and you I love it.
Thank you so much.
Like it, because I know her personally, so it's like she's such a sweetheart. And then when she does her poetry, she's so like, how did you say it? How did you say it earlier?
Rightful anger.
Yeah, she's so right. It's like
You're right.
it's kind of shocking, but I really do appreciate it. I really do.
Oh, me too.
My confidence is coming out.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That is, I'm so happy to see you grow as a poet and as a person, and to see you really step into this grown woman. I love it. I'm so grateful that I can witness this. I've known her for years, like since high school. So to really see her grow into this poetic woman, it's like,
oh, it's beautiful.
Thank you for allowing me to be a witness.
Thank you for giving me this platform to perform. Thank you.
Always.
Thank you. Powerful, powerful. It's just been an amazing evening so far. We're headed towards the ends of the road here on this majestic, enchanting, evening. I've been waiting for my co-hostess to say, that, we got a couple poets left. So
I wanted to keep it moving and grooving.
Hey.
But I did say it. You know what's crazy is
was I not here? Was I not here
earlier? I said it, and then I'm looking like,
oh no. Oh, that's so
said it.
It's
But,
okay. It won't be the last time we do this together. I'm sure of it.
I'm excited.
We're gonna keep it moving and grooving. We've got our feature closing out the night for us, Twosense. But without further ado, I would like to bring up the one, the only Mika
Yes. So you guys have been on a journey with me lately, from who I was to who I am becoming. And I earlier, Be the Pen, shout out, he's one of my favorite poets. He's a very interesting person. Mr. Posted is what I like to call him. He spoke today, and he said today was his soberversary, and I really respect that, because I've had my struggles with drinking. So I'm going to share two different pieces. One is, shout out to Be the Poet. It's called Vices, and here it goes. Somebody told me that I should stop drinking. And I said, yeah, I should. But what am I supposed to do when the world is weighing so heavy on my shoulders? And the hearts of those around me are only getting colder. The thoughts of suicide are getting closer, but the only thing that makes me stop thinking is the moment that I hear the ice clinking in my glass. It's so soothing to me, knowing that I can casually take a sip and be okay. Some say it's a problem, but more times than not, I feel it's a solution. Some may say it's my therapist, the way that I talk to this cup, and I feel understood. Because I can't even get wet for this dude if my cup is still empty. And I feel my mindset is consistently sinking into depression faster than I am blinking when I'm simply thinking and not drinking. And then I get this inkling that it will all go away once I feel the cool tip on my awaiting lip. And then I take a sip of this bittersweet sin. And then I feel the buzzing and that moment temporary happiness kicks in. And now all of a sudden, this moment of unchanged life I can bear to sit in, I start believing my own lies, that I start losing my own spirit to fight. And I think that I could just take one more sip and I'll be all right. Two more sips and I'm in the bathroom taking flicks, drunk texting my ex because I started this drunk journey alone, but I don't want to end it that way. So I'm looking for some company because you know what they say about misery. I know that this will never be love, that lust is our fate. So I drive that boat and take the bottle to the face, throw on my coat so I can rush over to his place only so we can drunk fuck and I can wake up to him saying, I got you an Uber pool because it was a cheaper rate. Now here I am again, sober, alone, and the bottle is done. And now my only choice, I feel, is to get another one. So, yeah, that was mine called
Girl,
Vices. Wait, I wanted to share another one.
I know, no, I want you to share the other one. I just had to pop in because my heart, and I just wanted to give you a big virtual hug because that was so beautiful and pure, and also like really fucking good, like pen wise, you know. So it was anyway. Let me get out of here. I want you to continue, but I just had to pop in right quick. Okay, continue, please.
Thank you. Okay, so my second piece, it's about domestic violence. I told y'all before I was happy, it was bleak. And so y'all are coming with me from who I was to who I'm becoming. And although I've always performed happy, beautiful love poems, everything behind the scenes wasn't perfect. So this was who I was, you know? And this is called You Slap Me. Last night, you slapped me. I mean, you took your whole arm, drew it back slow, then sped up as you came forward to increase centrifugal force, then spread your fingers to increase accuracy, then wham, a slap across the face. And it hurts. It is unlike music. When you hit, I feel the pain. And this wasn't the first time, nor was it the second. This was so many times that I had lost count. I had gotten so used to the pattern that I knew next came the gifts and the flowers and the I love yous and the I'm sorries and I don't know why I did it. And you know this almost never happens. And then you blame me because this is what I do to you. And I apologize. I apologize to you for your insecurities. Once again, I apologize to you for you feeling less than a man. I apologize to you for your feelings of inadequacy. I apologize to you for your inabilities. I apologize to you for you. But I say this only in my head as it hurts and my ears ring because last night you slapped me again. So yeah, that was my second piece.
Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for the one, the only, our amazing, amazing co-hostess with the mostest for the evening. I think it's really, really powerful how you end that last piece almost so abruptly. But you know, for those who know that type of pain, know that it is not uncommon, of course, for that to be repetitive, and the way that they're the conclusion is inconclusive that way. Like, the cycle continues. So that was so powerful. Also with the spreading the fingers and the reeling back, like you really brought us there. It was great wordsmithness,
Thank you. Thank you.
I just be making up words, okay?
See?
Dr.
That
Seuss in this
okay.
bitch.
I'm gonna use that. We're gonna make it a word.
Look, we all have poetic licenses here, so
Exactly.
we are allowed to do as we please. We just keep it flowing and growing and knowing and towing. It has been an absolutely beautiful evening. I am thrilled, honored, flattered, all of the adjectives, to be able to bring up our feature once more for a final piece. Before, actually, we'll say our goodbyes right after. But before we bring them back, I did want to say thank you so much for featuring with us on our platform here at Virtual Voices. We started 3 years ago, Jay Rose and I, in March of 2020, and we've been through hell and high water. We've done it live. We've had anniversary parties, and it's still just the beginning. So we welcome all of our frequent flyers, and we welcome all of our new features and our new guests and our new beautiful co-hostesses.
Yes, thank you. I'm grateful, and this has been so dope.
For sure. All right, without further ado, returning to the virtual microphone, put your hands together for Twosense. I need some flex bombs.
I appreciate y'all. Hell yeah. All right, okay. Close us off. I will do a piece called As a Poet. All right. As a poet, it's hard not to write about love. So in attempts to stray away from a niche I find myself so obsessed with, I find controversies like politics. How facades win votes, how lies win the sides of people's minds, how promises sound promising and plots are devised to promote plight, how there's an orchestrator, marionetting ballots like a ballet, forcing your hand in any way that benefits them. And then I remembered how hard it is not to write about love. How facades win the ballad of a heart, how lies intertwine your mind with mine, finding forced commonalities, how promises promote hopes and beliefs leading to plight, how an orchestrator can pull the string of a heart and force this union. And then I try to write about race, where there are no finish lines, but I want mine to be in first place. How I can find bias based off skin tones, how prejudice leads to the blind, leading the blind, how mine is better than yours, but I guess let me find reasons why we are equal. And then I remembered again how hard it is not to write about love. How this felt like a foot race where I wanted you to take the lead so I could follow in your pace, being cautious of any missteps I may help with along the way. How I find bias in your skin tone because you've become the most beautiful thing to me. How a preconceived opinion that's not based on reason can lead me to think blindly since love has no logic, but it makes so much sense. How my point is better than yours, but compromise is the only course of action to take. And next came my attempts to write about self worth, how I can find answers to questions about me. I've never had in a book written by someone else's truths, trying to find how it's true for me too. How I learned how to meditate to focus my cheese, chakras, and life force to a single breath, how a single breath is all I need to admit a truth about me. How placing value on myself is a contradiction because you can't put a price on life, but it's so easy to price match my worth with someone else's. How I found strength in myself, how I love myself, how I love myself, how I love myself, how love is important, how love is everywhere, how love is in everything, how if love was a God, I would find it easy to worship this deity since it's easy to see what a broken heart feels like. Therefore, we know it's real. And the only faith part about it is having faith that love will last long enough to feel it again. And oh, yeah. Then I remembered how hard it is not to write about love. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate the fuck out of y'all for offering this space. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much.
I don't know.
Hell
I don't
yeah.
know if you're all synced up. Are we delayed?
We synced up. I had to switch y'all to my phone. I was on
Yay!
my iPad before, but now I got y'all on the phone, so we good.
It's a beautiful thing. Okay, one time for the one time.
For everybody, goddamn.
Yes, yes. This has been a
Yeah,
great
for the year.
evening.
You are amazing. I honestly was just saying, I had to laugh. I just said to Leah, I'm like, we were talking, I'm like Twosense just said, I'm remembering how I love myself.
She did. She just texted me that. It was cute. It was
Come
cute.
on.
It was
That's
beautiful.
powerful.
And it was
I
like
always forget
it
the
truly,
Lord.
it was the both of you on truly took us on a journey this evening. You know, it was very intimate, it was very vulnerable, and that's why I love this space. You know, you get to be in the comfort of your own home. Reminder to everybody watching, to all our frequent flyers, all of our audience members. We will have a playback here on the Rose Garden Events page on YouTube and on Facebook. You can catch the playback. If any of the performers might want like a snippet or something like that, hit up J Rose. I'm just like throwing work on her plate.
She got it. She's featuring now. She good.
Hit up J Rose. We'll ask her how her gig went tonight, and then ask her for the snippet of your work. But thank you, Twosense, for being here.
Thank y'all. Thank all of y'all. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Mika, my glorious co-hostess with the mostest. I appreciate you. I hope everybody enjoys the weekend and has a beautiful.
Shout out to Mama. Thank you. I didn't get to give her a shout out. I appreciate you from the heart. It means a lot. Thank you.
My mom's a fan. My mom is a fan. My mom is a big Virtual Voices fan. You know, she gave you some love too in the comments too, son. So Mama G always comes through. Have a beautiful, blissful weekend, everybody. We'll see you next month.
Peace.